We presuppose that being self-absorbed is a bad thing, but you're a writer. You are definitely self-absorbed. Howdy. Welcome back to How to Write Better. My name is Joshua Fields Milburn. I'm a New York Times best-selling author and a writing professor at howtowritebetter.org. This is another installment in our Ask a Best-Selling Writer series. And we're answering your questions. You can drop your questions in the comments below. Today's question comes from Jill. Jill has to say, or she asks, how do you avoid coming across as self-absorbed when writing narrative nonfiction? I'm gonna give you a practical answer here, is you can switch it over to fiction, and does that character still seem self-absorbed if you were reading about a fictional character? But let me get a little more inquisitive with you for a moment. So, self-absorbed, what does that mean? We presuppose that being self-absorbed is a bad thing, but you're a writer. You are definitely self-absorbed. You're absorbed in those thoughts in your head. We get a level of absorptive detail in our head as writers, and we feel so compelled to get that onto the page. And so what I would say to you is being self-absorbed can actually be a superpower for a writer. What you're really asking here is, how do I avoid being uninteresting and boring? Because a lot of self-absorbed people that you notice in the world, they are not that interesting. They're not that compelling. And you want your characters, or if you are your own character in your writing, you want them to be compelling. Well, one way to be compelling is to find the things that you're so absorbed by within yourself that you're willing to write about that every single day. Being self-absorbed is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a good thing either. But as a writer, you can use it because that level of detail, especially during your first draft, getting everything onto the page, all of those absorptive details is really interesting and helpful for future drafts. In my writing class, I often teach students to write for 1 day and edit for 2 days. So it's 33% versus 67%. 33% composition, 67% editing. Well, why is that? Because good writing is rewriting. Every first draft is usually pretty bad, or it's certainly subpar compared to where it's going to be. But in order to get that first draft onto the page, you have to have a level of detail. You have to have a bunch of sediment through which you can pan so you can find the gold within the sediment. So yes, being self-absorbed produces a lot of sediment, and that's uninteresting, but you will make it interesting through the editing process. If you'd like some more writing tips, you can download my free ebook. It's called 15 Ways to Write Better. Just click the link in the description, and you'll download it today. You'll read it in less than an hour, and you'll walk away with 15 tips that will improve your writing today.